Welcome back, massage nerds. I'm so excited that today we are going to be doing the biceps on Leo, and I'm going to teach you a little bit of anatomy, technique, and physiology, and some pathologies. So to start off with, I want to remind you guys, in the anterior, there's only 3 muscles in the front, which would be the biceps, the coracobrachialis, and the brachialis. So biceps, remember, means 2 heads. So we have 2 origins. The long head originates at the supraglenoid fossa of the scapula, and the short head of the bicep originates right here on the coracoid process of the scapula. So you can feel for the bony protuberance right here. You can feel it on people. Be gentle because it really does hurt, or it can be very sensitive. So feel for the coracoid process. And this coracoid process has 3 insertions. 2 of them are the origins of the short head of the biceps and the coracobrachialis. That's the name coracoid, coracobrachialis. And the insertion from the pec minor. There's other attachments here, okay? So you want to make sure that you check. We also have the pec major attaching like right here. And you might think it's the short head of the bicep, but it could really be the pec major. So make sure you do some palpating to make sure that you're on the right muscle. And the subscapularis also inserts right here on the humerus. So you want to be real careful that you pinpoint which muscle it is, which origin it is. Is it an insertion or an origin? Because this would be an insertion. This is an origin. Remember, origins are more medial and insertions are more distal from the body. So make sure you check that out. If it hurts around here, it could be the insertion of the pec major or the subscapularis, which the subscapularis is the largest tendon of the rotator cuff muscles. Oh, and check out that video. I have a video out on the rotator cuff and also on the pecs, so you can see how I describe that there. So there's 3 muscles here only in the front, triceps only in the back. And musculocutaneous nerve is the one that serves the anterior part of the arm, and everything in the back is the radial nerve. The biceps originates right here, and then it inserts on the radial side, okay? The biceps is a flexor and a supinator. If you are flexing, then you can really see the biceps, but if you turn to pronate, your biceps disappears. So you can really only use it because it crosses the 2 joints. It crosses the shoulder and the humerus. It attaches nowhere on the humerus, okay? So remember that. And the brachialis attaches on the ulnar side, okay? From the humerus to the ulnar side. And the coracobrachialis attaches from the coracoid process down here into the medial shaft of the humerus. So the biceps nowhere on the humerus. Thus, it's a very good flexor. So I'm going to show you some techniques. You want to do your obvious, effleurage. Take it easy. Start slow. You can also do some petrissage, and you can do some skin rolling, especially, around the belly of the muscle. You want to go ahead and do some grasping here in case they have some tenderness. Usually the trigger points are right in the belly. And if I can have you flex me for, like, you can really see his bicep pop up. What makes the bicep look even bigger is that the brachialis is underneath. So the brachialis makes the biceps pop up even more when they flex. So if you can see that right there, it really pops up the bicep brachii. So you can do your effleurage, your petrissage. You can also do another one here where you can tuck it in at your waist level, okay? You don't want to have anything closer to your breast area. So you can hold it with your waist, and you can use your thumbs or your fingers to get to the brachialis. If you can see the brachialis right here on this side, we just showed you a little bit of it on both sides because it is beneath. So one of the techniques that you can do is you can push your thumbs together towards each other to really get to the brachialis. Or you can use your fingers just to grasp it there. and to really feel where there's some trigger points and some knots. And you also need to palpate the tendon attachments right here at the origins. And then there's also called the free test, so that you can have them flex their arm and then press on the long head of the bicep. And if it hurts and it's tender, they probably have something going on there, maybe some arthritis or something. And there's another one here, the hook test, where they flex and you can really feel the tendon right there. You can feel the tendon of the brachialis on the ulnar side and the tendon on the radial side. And a lot of times when you have a type 1 or type 2 strain, that means that the tendons, really are damaged, either from overuse or from injury, from especially weightlifters. You can damage the tendons, and there's a type 1, type 2, and type 3 strain. Remember, strain with a T is for the tendon. That has to do with a tendon. Sprain has to do with the ligaments. So if there's a type 1 strain, you can still work it. If there's a type 3 strain, you do not want to stretch it or work it, because that's when the muscle completely tore off from the origin or the insertion. So you need to be real careful with that, especially if they're, if they're a little bit bruised. You don't want to overwork it. It's better if they go to a doctor first and find out what's going on. And then if everything's okay and it's just something you can work on, then you can go ahead and work it. But you want to make sure and do your petrissage again, your effleurage. You can do your trigger points are mainly in the middle of the belly of the muscle. You can hold it, remember, up to 10 to 15 seconds. If you find a trigger point, I'm actually finding a trigger point right there. Does that hurt, Leo, right there? Or no? No, feels a little tense right there, right on the belly of the muscle. And with him, I can really feel all the difference in the fibers. And I can also get the brachialis, right here. Another one that I like to do is I support the arm with my arm and to kind of move it around. Like really try to manipulate it at the joint, at the glenohumeral joint. This is a really good movement, especially for people that are having frozen shoulder and it affects the long head of the bicep. You can really just try to manipulate the glenohumeral joint, and also get, at the same time while you're there, get the brachialis underneath right here. And some of the things, the pathologies are tendonitis, and anything that has itis means that it's swollen. So that usually happens at the attachments. And so it's swollen, and the way you really treat that, actually even a type 1 or a type 2 strain, you treat it almost the same. You use the RICE, the rest, the ice, the elevation, and another thing you can incorporate it is PT, the physical therapy. That's the best way, after they've healed, they can start, of course, the doctor would have to prescribe the PT. But you can also try to, do some stretches, stretching the muscle a little bit, and having them flex gently. If they can flex, and you can apply a little bit of resistance, holding the muscle and moving up 1 inch at a time, having them flex so that you're kind of stretching that muscle out a little bit. They offer a little bit of resistance, active resistance from the client. And then passive, you can do it yourself by grasping. You can do it with one hand or you can do it with 2 hands. Well, thank you guys for tuning in again and following me. I appreciate that. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram, and I've got a new Facebook account, so if you want to follow me there too. I'm going to try to make it a little bit different, not to post the same thing, maybe have some live videos. So, and the next video will be on the triceps, and I'll be showing you again origins and insertions and a little bit of pathology. So stay tuned. Till the next time, create a good day.